There have been many storylines coming into the NHL playoffs with all of these teams, whether it be injuries, whether it be drama. Today, I want to focus on my team, the Boston Bruins. One of the emerging headlines is the fact that Bergeron is actually going to be ruled out for Game 2 against the Florida Panthers. I guess this was something that was announced by Jim Montgomery. So if you are a Bruins fan, or a hockey fan, or you just like to see these interviews, I have been following Bruins Rinkside. Basically, they just post interviews with the players, with the team, after games, after practices, and so on. I only recently actually came across this YouTube page. I have not seen this latest interview, so we're just gonna go ahead and watch the interview, talk about it a little bit, and basically see what Jim Montgomery says about Patrice Bergeron going into Game 2.
Progress for Bergeron, but no for tonight? Or?
Correct. Yeah, he's progressing well. So he's day by day, but he's a no for tonight.
Is this something, depending on how the team does, that you might let carry for the next round and maybe give him more rest?
Well, I think you always are looking at the situation of everything goes into our decision making, Whereas he's at is number one. Number two, it would be just like the regular season, rest versus play. Where the series at, all those things come into factors.
How hard has it been to keep him off the ice?
Well, he's hard to keep. He's such a pro. He's such a competitor. Everybody knows he wants to be in, but the great thing about him is his ability to put his own personal feeling aside and still lead our group like he does. That speaks volumes about his leadership qualities.
So here's the thing. I was listening to a podcast with Billy Jaffe and Andrew Raycroft, and basically they were stating that Bergeron was actually in one of the pre-game pump-up, whatever you want to call it, meetings with the players. So he was, I don't know if he was just like a little pep talk before they went out for Game 1, whatever it was. If that's the case, it's probably more an injury than an illness. I think people were thinking that it was like the flu or something, but if it was the flu and it was something specific to how he was feeling and an illness, he wouldn't be around the player. I haven't heard that talked about, but he would not be around the players because he wouldn't want to get the players sick. So it's probably the fact that he's just got something nagging, and like he left the Montreal game in the first period, if you remember. So if he left the game, something was nagging. It was probably just something that he didn't want to take a chance with, so they pulled him off. And they even mentioned that they had to keep him in the dressing room because he wanted to go back out in Montreal and play. Here's the thing I think about. I've been watching Boston all year long. They, for the most part, did not play a full 60-minute game against Florida. And they still won 3-1. And they could have won by more. Like, they had so many great chances and great saves by Lyon. But really, they only had one period of solid Bruin play, and that was the third period. Other than that, the only reason that they won 3-1 was some relatively good defense, but Ullmark made all the saves he had to make. He was so stable in net. He did not waver from his net at all. Super solid performance by Ullmark. So we know the Bruins can be better. Why would they bring in Bergeron? They played a great game. He's got something nagging. Dude, just sit out, right? This is likely his last postseason. So I guarantee you it's just something super small and nagging, and he's just sitting out, and they're not worried about it because they're playing great without him. I believe without Bergeron this year, this stat could be wrong. I could also look it up, but from what I remember hearing, the Bruins are 5-0 without Bergeron this year. We play fine without him right now. We play great with him, but why chance anything? Let's keep him out.
No, I think it's all inclusive. He's not at the point where he could play tonight. It's not illness.
There you go.
Yes, Ullmark and nets. Same line, same decor.
The only thing that annoys me about these interviews, it's like, you're going to get interviews from the media. I wouldn't say Montgomery seems annoyed, but he kind of seems annoyed. Right? It's like, bro, they just want to know what to expect for the game tonight. Of course, you don't want to give them headlines. You don't want to give them any information because the media always runs with everything. But at the same time, he's so tight-lipped, it just seems like, did you not expect these questions? I don't know. That's just my take so far.
Offensively. Speed of which, how we move pucks in all three zones. The people off the puck more than the puck moving, knowing where the puck's going and getting there. We were slow for us. A lot of that's Florida. They're right on top of us. They're checking really well. But we were slow for us. That didn't, to me, look like Bruins hockey offensively. Defensively, we're pretty good.
He does not want to be in this interview. If you haven't picked it up so far, he wants out.
Just the more intense, you don't have as much room and space. It's hard to get to where you want to go. There was a lot of big hits in that game one.
Bergeron's out. I don't think they have much to worry about. The centermen all through 1, 2, 3, 4 that they've all been very solid. Let him be out. Like, he's just going to rest. He's not going to come back and take a chance. There's just really no point to it. So that's what we'll expect here for game 2. And I'm going to predict Boston takes game 2 yet again. I think they have a lot of room to be better than in game 1. And we're going to see Boston take game 2. So with Bergeron out, regardless, we'll be sitting there watching and seeing how the Bruins perform without their top centerman and their captain yet again.